And welcome back to Mr. Gregorius Math. Today we're taking a look at finding the equation of a quadratic in standard form. We've been given a problem where we have to find the equation of a quadratic that passes through the points 6, 3, 7, 9, and 5, 1. I'm going to omit the very helpful step of drawing a sketch. But if I drew a sketch, I would probably have an idea of some of the points in this already. So first thing that I would maybe do if I were doing this problem over again, which is weird to say at the start, is I would start off by doing a little bit of a sketch. Instead, I'm going to start off in standard form. I'm starting in standard form because of the fact that none of these 3 points are roots. So because none of those 3 points are roots, I don't have enough information, or rather any information, to start off in factored form. So now I'm going to create 3 equations. Each of these points is going to give me an x and a y. I'm going to call this point 1, I'm going to call this point 2, and I'm going to call this point 3, and I'm going to have 3 equations. My equation from 1 is going to be 3 equals a times 6 squared plus b times 6 plus c. And so here I'm just substituting in my y's and x's. So this will be 3 equals 36a plus 6b plus c. That's from my equation 1. I'll do the same thing from equation 2. So this is going to be now 7 and 9. So I'm going to have 9 is equal to a times 7 squared plus b times 7 plus c. Simplifying, I'll have 9 equals 49a plus 7b plus c. And that's equation 2. Moving along, I'll do equation 3. So I'm going to have 1 is equal to a times 5 squared plus b times 5 plus c. So I have 1 is equal to 25a plus 5b plus c. Now, the thing is with all 3 of these equations is I have 3 unknowns. So I can actually go ahead and solve a system of 3 equations with 3 unknowns. My first step is to change it to a system of 2 equations with 2 unknowns. And I notice that each of these equations has c isolated. This will always be the case when you're solving for the equation of a quadratic in standard form from 3 points. The c's will always be hanging around because there's no place for the x to multiply by. So I'll combine these 2 equations here, and I'm going to combine them by subtraction. When I combine them by subtraction, I'll have 9 minus 3. Well, 9 minus 3 is 6. I'll have 49 minus 36, and now I have to do some quick math here. I think that's 13. I'll have 7 minus 6, so I think that's 1b. And c minus c, those things cancel out. So I've combined equations 1 and 2 by subtraction, and that got me an equation with 2 variables instead of 3. I'm going to do that same thing over here. I'm going to combine these 2 equations with subtraction as well. So I'll have 9 minus 1, and I'm choosing to do this from largest to smallest, so that way I keep my signs positive. So if I keep my signs positive, it might make my math a little bit easier. So 9 minus 1 is 8, and then 49 minus 25, I think that's 24a. And then 7 minus 5, I think that's 2b. And then c minus c, those are now gone. So fantastic. I now have an equation here and an equation here. I wanted to notice that these are now a set of linear equations that we may have seen when we were solving linear systems. So if I gave this as a problem on a quiz, I think everyone would be able to use either substitution or elimination to get to an answer. I'm hoping the answer works out nicely. Let's follow me to this board and see if it does. So I'll have 8 equals 24a plus 2b. And I'm going to take my first equation, the one that I found between 1 and 2, and I'm going to multiply it by 2. So that way I have 12 equals 26a plus 2b. I multiplied it by 2 so that I would have a matching coefficient pair, right? So that way it would be easier to simplify. So now I'm going to go ahead and, because I have the same sign in my matching pair, I'm going to subtract. But I'm going to subtract up. What's 12 minus 8? We shout it out. 4, thank you. 26 minus 24?
2.
So I have 2a, and then 2b minus 2b, those are just gone. And of course, my last step here now is to just solve for a by dividing by 2, and what do you do to one side? See, that's what excitement sounds like, YouTube. I don't know if you've seen that on many other channels. I think the Dude Perfect guys sometimes get excitement. I'm sure there's some laugh tracks that go along with Kimmel and Fallon and those dudes. but like you can't generate excitement like that. We'll try it one more time again. Factoring is a religion.
College factor first.
That is the sound of teenage excitement right there. Okay, so we now have a is equal to 2. And with a is equal to 2, we can go back and back substitute. So I'm going to take this value and substitute it into, I think, my first equation, which was 6 equals 13a plus b. So this step is that back substitution step. And this will allow me to find b. So in doing so, I think I'm going to end up with negative 20 is equal to b. Because I would have 26, and I would subtract 26 from both sides. And I now know a is equal to 2, b is equal to negative 20, and I'm one step away from getting my value of c. I'm now going to substitute both of those values, a equals 2, b equals negative 20, into either equation 1, 2, or 3. And I feel like equation 3 had lower numbers. So right at equation 3, it's 1 equals 25 times a plus 5 times b plus c. Now a was 2, b was negative 20, and c is going to be solved for. So I'll have 1 equals 50 minus 100 plus c. And I believe I'm going to have negative 49 is equal to c. So that's just positive 51. I almost made a mistake on YouTube. Always check your work, because 50 minus 100 would have been negative 50. Adding 50 to both sides gives me 51 as c. So now that I have a value of c, 51, a value of b, negative 20, and a value of a, 2, I can say the equation is y equals 2x squared minus 20x plus 51. And that's the equation of the quadratic passing through the point 637951. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, ring that notification bell so you get updates when new content drops. Usually we're generating new videos every Tuesday and Thursday, but today is Tuesday, Thursday, Wednesday, not sure, Tuesday. I feel like it's Tuesday. It's my favorite day because it's the only day with a number. I am working on that merch shop. I just have to get back with the guys from Shopify to see if they can bring in those pencils that I was talking about. I wanted the HB number 2, but there was some confusion about which level of lead they said I could use. I reminded them it's graphite. They said they don't sharpen as well. But we'll see you next time. Take care.